Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Khaeriyah Al-Fadhilah with student ID 20400120085 from PBI-C class. Here I will convey related the structure of the lesson plan or RPP old and revised version. Before the introduction in this case is RPP is a short-term plan to estimate or project what will be done in learning and what results are to be achieved from the learning process. RPP becomes a reference for teachers to carry out learning activities so that they are more focused and able to teach effectively and efficiently. The lesson plans must fully contain the competencies of spiritual attitudes, social knowledge, and skills. RPP is a lesson plan that is prepared in detail with reference to the syllabus, textbooks, and teacher manuals as well as other supporting references. The legal basis for the preparation of the 2013 curriculum RPP according to the regulation of the Minister of Education and Culture number 22 of 2016 is the RPP component including 1. Identify of school or madrasa, subject, class or semester, main material and time allocation, and 2. KIKD competency achievement indicators, and 3. Learning objectives, 4. Learning materials, 5. Learning methods, 6. Learning media, 7. Learning resources, and 8. Learning activities, and last is rating. The principle of RPP is contains basic spiritual, social, knowledge, and skills competencies. One RPP is carried out in one meeting. Pay attention to individual student differences. Learning, context-based, current-oriented, develop independent learning, provide feedback and follow-up learning, having linkages and cohesiveness between competencies and our content, utilizing information and communication technology. As for the circular of the Minister of Education and Culture number 14 of 2019 concerning simplification of RPP, there are 3 core components, namely the first is learning objectives and the second is learning steps or activities and last is learning assessment. The other components complement each other. The learning objectives are written with reference to the 2013 curriculum and student learning needs, and learning objectives describe the learning process and outcomes that are expected to be achieved by students in accordance with the basic competencies, and learning objectives are made based on core competencies, basic competencies, and predetermined indicators. The learning steps or activities are written effectively in the form of activities that can directly achieve basic competence. Even so, learning activities are still carried out interactively, inspiring, fun, challenging, and motivating students. In learning activities, students are invited to actively participate, providing sufficient space for creativity and independence according to their talents, interests, and physical and psychological development. And the learning assessment procedure is also simplified by taking into account the indicators of competency achievement and referring to the assessment standard. The circular of the Minister of Education and Culture number 14 of 2019 says, schools subject teacher groups in the school environment, teacher working groups or subject teacher deliberations, and individual teachers can freely choose, create, use, and develop lesson plans independently for maximum student learning success. The RPP that has been made can be used and adjusted according to its own provisions. But the consequence is with the policy of simplifying the lesson plan can only be made one page because simplification of the lesson plan doesn't require the requirement of the number of pages. Teachers who have made RPP with a format that refers to the regulation of the Minister of Education and Culture number 22 of 2016 concerning standards for the primary and secondary education process can still use the RPP format that has been made previously. Teachers can also modify the format of the lesson plans that have been made in accordance with the principles of being effective, efficient, and student-oriented. The consideration for the simplifying the RPP are teachers are often directed to make detailed lesson plans which require time that should be more focused on preparing and evaluating the learning process itself. The target for simplification is realizing the achievement of three principles, namely, the first is efficient and the second is effective and the last is student-oriented. With meaning the first is efficient means that the lesson plans are well written and don't take much time and effort, and the second is effective. Effective means that lesson plans are written to achieve learning objectives, and the last is student-oriented. Student-oriented means that the writing of lesson plans is done by paying attention to the readiness and interest and learning needs of students in class. And I think that's all from me. Less and more, please forgive. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.